Hello, everyone. I am making it work, and I do not have a lot of time today. So, we are going in. I am eating at the moment. So I'm going to take bites every now and again. But I have a lot to do today, and I would like to get to it. Gotta connect my voice mod. There we go. Just a recap of episode 3.
There are 2 of them now. As I ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the 2 of us, impatiently tapping her foot.
Oh, Jet Black, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in all that. You two did right by those kids, though. What a blessing everybody getting out of that situation all right. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Jet Black, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute.
Oh, excuse me. Wait, you're Jet Black, aren't you? My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy, and it's a pleasure to meet you. The policeman told me you saw what happened to my daddy.
Thought you weren't gonna show. I put 2 and 2 together. I know you're related to the boss, and the other guys are all riled up. They're talking action. If they saw me out here with you, they'd think I was some kind of scab. But none of them will listen to me, especially now. They've all got bigger things to worry about than a single missing minor. I haven't forgotten about him, though. Anything you want to know, just ask. And with that, breakfast is served.
He's a dog. Not only is this mayor a dog, but judging from the series of portraits lining the walls, every mayor of Scarlet Hollow has also been a dog. I can tell this dog is the mayor from the little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. Before I can catch up to my companions, I'm intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Whoever he is, I can feel his desperation to make a good first impression, a self-sustained and self-fulfilling prophecy.
Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Jet Black, the host of the Hard Facts with Jet Black and CEO of JBTV. Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. If you'd ever like to discuss your beliefs, my door is always open.
The basement is what I might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corner of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator.
Your mom is so scary. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much.
Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense. His shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of us with a sharp, fierce gaze.
So, we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week, while Jet Black is still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever gonna change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends over.
Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms.
Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix.
Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open.
Reese?
Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Hey, you're here sooner than I expected. Hope dinner went okay? Oscar and Kanika startle as the door swings open.
Seems I made it just in time. Let's get this show on the road. I don't have all night. Whoa.
This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained in reddish brown.
I'm going for it.
The cleavage.
Wait, do you hear music? I actually don't. Why is the music not playing?
Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadow rises to attention.
Stella?
There you are.
I would have found you sooner, but the Resonant clearly doesn't want me here. It doesn't seem to have the same issue with these miserable little parasites.
Splork.
Bottom feeders always manage to slip through the cracks, don't they?
The sins of the father
are to be laid upon the children. One of you must forfeit, it doesn't matter which. Bullshit! I hope I didn't come too late. It wants something, doesn't it? I think you know which of you should volunteer. You must be joking. Yeah, I don't know why the music isn't playing.
I take a step towards the light.
Make sure, Titus should be getting off the bus soon. It is Stinky Man. Sybil is right here. Please don't do this.
I wordlessly step into the spotlight.
I'm so sorry, Jet Black. I don't think I can talk right now. I'll call you, okay?
She hurries off down the road.
Before I go,
Sybil places a hand on my arm, holding me back for a moment.
I'm sure you have questions after everything you saw tonight, and about what's happened to you, but let's not get into it here. I think everyone could use a little rest and relaxation right now, yourself included. If you swing by the tea room sometime tomorrow, say, early afternoon, you and I can have a little chat. I'll see you then, Jet Black.
I don't even notice myself entering the guest room and falling into the bed. Suddenly, I'm just there, buried under my family's musty covers. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. has been put to rest, at the expense of unknown years of my life. The specter of the night's events will linger over me for every day I have left, a grim reminder of the price I willingly paid for the crimes of a family I never met. Maybe it'll be easier in the morning. Maybe my joints will ache just a little less than they do now. Maybe I can still right the capsized ship of my now broken life. Or maybe things will only get worse from here.
Okay, there's the music. I'm gonna take a bite of my food. I might take 2 bites, actually. Alright.
I open my eyes. It's a new day. And I feel like shit. I was hoping some of my strength would return to me after a good night's sleep, but I feel just as drained as when I dug myself out of that shallow grave. My limbs are heavy, and my heart struggles to keep up with my movements. I feel like I've lost something that was important to me. I don't care what happens. I made the right choice, and I'd do it again. Yes, I did what had to be done. Who knows what would have happened had I let that ghost behind to fester? An involuntary shudder runs down my spine. But my thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of my phone on the nightstand.
Hey, just wanted to check in. Hope you're doing a little better. Also wanted to ask, have you heard from Stella?
I checked my messages. There's nothing from Stella. I dial Stella.
Hey, what's up? Haha, just kidding. I'm not able to come to the phone right now, but this is actually recording my voice. It isn't really me. Technology, huh? Anyways, leave a message. Or don't. I never check this thing.
The mailbox.
The mailbox is full and can't accept messages at this time.
Hey, I'm kinda worried after you ran off last night. Text me as soon as you get the chance. I wait for a few silent minutes. My message sits undelivered. Everyone had a rough night. She's probably still shaken up.
Yeah, but I don't love that she's out there somewhere by herself, considering all the shit that's been going down. Look, I know we haven't exactly gotten along, but we should meet up in town and look for her together.
Looks like I have my morning plans in order. I might as well take a shower before starting the rest of my day. I step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. The hot water soothes my achy joints. Despite the state of the bathroom, this shower is a good place. As it rinses my body clean,
Hmm. Think about someone special.
I think about someone special. Specifically, I think about Dr. Kelly and the way her commanding presence dominated yesterday's dinner. I'm done here. I turn off the faucet and dry myself off. I make my way to the closet. There's no denying it. The doll moved at some point since my most recent visit. But my long dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. And judging by the residue that was left behind, I'm pretty sure I know the culprit. That means he was in my room. But was he there while I was out the previous day, or did he enter while I slept unawares just a few feet away? Something to mull over for the rest of the day. I open the drawers. The two possums stare up at me. They both have bread now. That's nice. I wave at them. They can continue to stare at me blankly in response. I close the drawers. This is their home now, and there's nothing I can do to change that. It's time to face my cousin. I find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety.
They weren't bluffing after all. They're actually striking. And this week, of all weeks, as if I didn't have enough on my plate already. I've had a full day to prepare for this, though. They won't know what's coming for them. Thanks again for having my back on this. I know how some of you city folk feel about unions, so the early warning was a pleasant surprise.
There's almost a cool confidence in the way my cousin talks about the strike. How are you feeling about the strike? You can be honest with me.
Conflicted. I'm not very threatened by the whole thing, if that's what you're asking, but I didn't want it to have to come to this. I don't think many people take pleasure in breaking strikes. Pearl Ann would have, but that's not me. I don't know. It's complicated. Everything is so complicated.
You want me to infiltrate the strike?
Even if they didn't already know you're my cousin, that seems like a great way to throw gasoline on a fire. This is my problem to fix. Your only job is to stay safe until the funeral is over.
Usually I'm pro-union, but... Come on, your mom just died. Can they not?
Right? Let me at least get her in the ground first. But it's fine. I'm going to sort this out. I just need to keep things together long enough for the mind to get back on its feet, then everyone will be happy and we can all go back to normal.
Do you know what the strikers even want?
I haven't seen a list of demands. I'm sure it's just the usual. I promise you that if any one of them were in my shoes for a month, they'd be singing a different tune. Hmm.
You're in a really difficult spot right now.
Yeah, I am. Hopefully it'll all be over soon. Alright.
So, ghosts are real. I still can't get over that.
I can. What does that actually change about anything? You're a Scarlet. You were probably going to die young anyways, and I still have a mind to run.
It feels good, doesn't it? Getting rid of something our family left behind like that.
I can't believe you're saying that. Have you looked in a mirror?
Have you heard anything from Stella? I can't get a hold of her.
No, but that's not exactly newsworthy. I'm sure she's just processing what happened last night. We weren't the only ones who were traumatized.
You probably should get going, right?
Yeah, I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe. No more hijinks. But let me know if you get in trouble, okay?
Tabitha slips past me, her heavy boots thudding down the hall as she marches away to face her employees. Time to figure out the rest of the day. If Stella's MIA, who knows when I'll get the chance to eat? And who knows just how much my new affliction will affect my appetite? I make myself a PB&J in anticipation for the long day ahead of me. And that's that. From my eavesdropping in the general store yesterday, it sounds like Tabitha's keeping something out back. Now that she's gone for the day, I can investigate the garden to my heart's content. The air is chilly today, the overcast sky hanging oppressively over the weed-choked flower beds. I venture deeper into the garden. Sybil mentioned an enclosed space. There isn't a shed out here, but the greenhouse fits the bill. I start carefully picking my way through the underbrush. It doesn't take much effort to find a path. Cuttings of prickly raspberry bushes and tangled vines litter the ground around the greenhouse. I step towards the door. It's sealed shut by a lock, and I catch a brief glimpse of a horned shadow through the ancient clouded glass. It was a goat. What a strange thing to keep in a greenhouse, especially one so isolated and overgrown. When are people going to learn that a mere lock can't keep me contained? I pop it open with ease. A warm barnyard smell floods my senses as I stare down at the goat within. It stares back up at me from its place on the tiled floor, surrounded by dried herbs. Maybe if I could talk to animals, the goat might have some hidden insights to share about its situation. But that would be ridiculous. People can't just talk to animals. Is now the time? Is now the time to give the goat my boiled peanut? Sybil said make sure that the herbs is the only thing the goat eats. I can fuck that up. Oh, I'm gonna. Fuck you, Sybil.
Sorry, taking a couple bites of food.
I pull out my bag of peanuts and offer them to the goat. It devours them without hesitation. For better or for worse, my salty companion is gone. Forever. I unclip the rope tying the goat to the greenhouse. It stares up blankly at me in response. I do my best to force the goat out of the greenhouse. Even in this enclosed space, I fail to catch it. It doesn't want to leave, and it's far more agile than me. This is a losing proposition. The door's already open. I think for a moment about whether I should keep it that way. I close the door behind me and reapply the lock. My cousin will be none the wiser about my little excursion. I've investigated the garden. With Stella missing, it's best not to keep Kanika waiting for much longer. It's time to head to town. I head to the front door and begin my trek to the town below. The birds sound different today, muffled like my ears are full of cotton. The dull sun shines down on the surrounding wilderness, seeming to wash the color from the world. But I'm adjusting. Already, my body is starting to accept the change that has come over it, to accept that this is how things will be from here on out. Glimpses of pale figures dot my periphery. I haven't seen ditchlings in the middle of the day before. They're getting bolder. As I continue the trek to town, I pause to stare out at the mountain range beyond the holler, contemplating a world that's blissfully unaware of the danger threatening the citizens of this tiny town. The world outside feels less real with each passing day, as the strange reality of what's happening in Scarlet Hollow gently uproots what I'd always taken to be the truths of our world. My everyday worries seem distant, overshadowed by a fear and dread that hasn't stopped building up since the moment I stepped off the bus. It isn't long until my journey from the estate is over, and I once again find myself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow.
Hey, you made it. I still haven't heard from Stella, and I've already seen a bunch of those ditchling things scurrying around in broad daylight. I know my mom said they're harmless, but we should start looking for her.
I'm gonna take a bite. So, ghosts, huh? I don't know. I bet it'll fuck it up. I hope it does. I want to fuck up whatever the fuck Sybil's doing. Yeah, ghosts. I don't know. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, ghosts. I don't know about you, but I'm currently staving off a massive existential crisis about the state of matter and what being alive means.
Any idea why Stella was so upset? Being possessed seems awful, but she's the only one who ran off.
Could be a lot of things. She could have hit a breaking point stress-wise. She could have been horrified by meeting a ghost for the first time. She could be struggling with what that ghost did. But at the end of the day, I have no idea. We'll just have to find her and see if she wants to stop running from it and finally just talk things out.
I guess that raises an important question. Is Stella missing because she doesn't want to be found, or did something happen to her when she ran off? If it's the first one, is finding her going to do any good? Maybe she needs space.
Maybe she needs space, but things have been getting dangerous around here. I'd rather not take that coin flip.
So, how are you mentally?
That's a great question. My concept of how the world works is being shattered a little more each day, so that's cool. Every day I feel more and more like I need to get out of this town before it swallows me whole, but I also keep feeling like there are too many reasons to stay. Like right now, I can't leave until I know Stella's okay. With her folks gone, the only people she has are her friends. And as her bestie, I can't just let her go running off into the woods to get eaten by a Bigfoot. And my mom is just so chill right now, it's driving me nuts. She's not giving me any answers about that shit she pulled last night. It's just weird. Anyway, thanks for asking. Ranting helped. I appreciate you pressing me on it.
Your mom is definitely a witch. Kanika laughs.
My mom? The crystals and herbs lady? No way. I mean, if she were, that would mean everything I thought I knew was wrong, and my whole life has been a lie. So, no, she's not a witch. Witches aren't real. Case closed. End of story.
I'm supposed to see your mom today at some point. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things.
I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told all of us last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune. I should probably stop making fun of her whole New Age mystic vibe. A lot's happened in these past couple of days. Still, there'll be plenty of time for tea after we've looked for Stella.
Any leads on Stella?
I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone else yet, so nope, none so far. She ran north last night, but that doesn't mean she didn't double back. I'm trying not to worry too much. It's possible she's safe somewhere, just not answering her phone. But I also don't want to bet on that.
I was kind of surprised you reached out to me after all the issues between you and Tabitha.
You sacrificed years of your life to exorcise a ghost for people you hadn't met until what, 2 days ago? That kind of outweighs whatever ongoing feud I have with your cousin. And I'm not going out there alone, because the last thing I want is to go missing while looking for someone who went missing. We do everything in groups from now on.
Is someone manning the general store while we go looking for Stella?
Mom and Miles can deal for another day while we go looking for Stella. This is important. I will be right. Not that the store isn't, but if something happened to her and I was spending my time minding the register, I don't think I could live with that.
I guess we should get started.
Yeah, we're burning daylight. Where to first?
Okay, let's go to Stella's house.
Definitely. I probably should have done that before getting you to come all the way down here, but to be honest, I was scared of wandering off by myself, just in case I ran into any other horrors from beyond the veil. It'd be great if this turns out to be nothing and she's just asleep in bed.
I make my way towards Stella's house. The door is as pristine as any old wooden door. No bloody handprints in sight, any telltale signs of Wayne absent. If something happened here, it didn't involve him, at least not at the front door. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. I seem to recall that Stella closed the door behind her when the two of us left for the library yesterday morning. This doesn't look like a break-in. It looks like somebody left the door open. Stella, or someone else, was in a hurry when they left. We ate breakfast here together yesterday morning. She closed the door behind us.
And we were both with her for the rest of the day. We should go in, right?
Yeah, we should go in. The living room is almost exactly as I saw it the other day. Aside from a corner of the room dedicated to Gretchen, Stella's house almost feels like a museum. Everything's organized with a sort of tidiness I wouldn't expect from someone as rough and tumble as Stella, and only a handful of objects feel like they belong to her. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here.
Okay, nothing unusual so far. This is a perfectly normal living room, no blood or viscera, not even a tipped-over lamp. That's good.
Stella's kitchen is messier than she left it yesterday. A couple cabinets are hanging open, and a loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. The crust of the bread is gone somewhat stale, about as much as I'd expect after being left out overnight. Whoever left it here left many hours ago. It's a little messy, but it doesn't look like anything violent happened here. It's possible she came home, grabbed some food, and left in a hurry, right? Maybe she had a panic attack after being possessed, stopped at home to make a snack before running off to cry somewhere. That might not sound rational, but it's absolutely in character for her. Honestly, it's a relief to think that might be all that happened. A panic attack is much more manageable than rotten ghouls or parasitic doughboys. But that doesn't tell us where she was going. I make my way down the hall to what I assume to be Stella's room. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. No streaks of blood and pus that might belong to a certain phantom miner. He hasn't been here. I do notice, though, that her jacket is nowhere in sight. It isn't in her closet, and it wasn't on the coat rack in the other room. Stella's jacket is gone, the Letterman one. It wasn't on the rack in the other room, it's not in here, and she didn't have it yesterday. Okay, I'm sold. Between this and the kitchen, she must have come home last night. I go to check Stella's computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping around on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? If Stella didn't want us to snoop, she shouldn't have gone missing. I don't make the rules. Okay, fine. But I'm going to stand over your shoulder the whole time and make sure you don't go looking for anything personal. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display. I scan through folders and file names on Stella's desktop, looking for anything that seems like it might be interesting. One folder catches my eye. Boring tax stuff. I'm no fool. I've seen this folder before. I have this folder on my own computer. Boring tax stuff never contains boring tax stuff. For that matter, it never contains anything related to taxes, and its contents are never boring. I'm gonna open it just because I'm curious what it is. I open the folder. I'm surprised to find it contains a carefully mapped out diagram of the Scarlet Hollow mines, including holes in fences and areas with low visibility. There's also a handful of old photos of Stella and Tabitha together as teenagers. Tabitha wears an uncharacteristic grin, an authentic joyful smile, and Stella's eyes are somehow brighter, less tired. Both of them seem to be living in a happier time. It would take me all day to count the number of open tabs in Stella's browser. So numerous are her tabs that I can't see a single icon. A sea of rounded, featureless triangles from Windows Edge to Windows Edge. Her most recently opened tab is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, a forum for cryptozoology enthusiasts. The post in question is titled "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow." Hey everyone, was out chasing a skunk ape sighting the other day and I found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them before. Anyone have any good leads? Camera isn't shaky enough. This is totally stage. Clean footage of some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of except for your friend's mom? The only thing I'm seeing when I Google ditchlings is some city in England. Thought you were legit. Guys, since when did high-quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Since every low-budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. I'm serious. I've got a ton of extra footage. Look at this nest. They've been doing something to the animals in town, and they're apparently some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. I believe you. Lucky you're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainments, not scientists. The thread continues into the next day.
Hey, okay, so 1, this isn't an ARG. I would never. And 2, you're not going to believe this, but we went into an abandoned mine last night to investigate things, and I'm pretty sure we found some Tommyknockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape.
There's a link to an audio file titled TommyKnockersReal.wav. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real.
2 supernatural events on back-to-back nights? This is so fake. I can't believe I bought into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it.
YouTubers are always going to sell out to big indie horror. This is Kidnapped by Aliens all over again.
Also, long, doughy white things and now loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? Stop cyberbullying her or I'm going to call the mods.
Locking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying and no self-promo. The thread ends.
Ouch.
I checked Stella's search history. She hasn't visited any websites since Tuesday night. If she came home after last night's incident, she didn't touch her browser. Her search history is almost entirely work-related, a furious series of queries for various monsters encrypted that might fit the profile of ditchlings. That's that. Okay, I think we've seen enough.
Thank God. I'm taking a bite of food. Delicious.
This sure looks like a room. Any thoughts?
Yeah, nothing much to comment on. This is what a room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. Aw, she still does those corkboard with string things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyway.
Okay, I don't think we're going to find much else here. Let's move on.
Yeah, sucks that Stella's getting bullied. So she probably came home last night, but she left the door open and didn't tell anyone where she was going. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I thought she would have just been sleeping in or something. I can't believe she's actually missing. Where to next?
We should go to the cops, right?
That's not a terrible idea. I'm sure they won't be much help, but we are dealing with a missing person, and that's cop stuff. Hopefully they don't give you a hard time. They've really been on your ass.
The police station is exactly what I would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But I'm also not alone here. I enter to find a worried Beau standing between me and the officers behind the desk.
Let me get this right. You're trying to report a missing pumpkin?
Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Sheriff Hugby, sir. She was gonna be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to me.
Are you sure it was Julius and not some enterprising bear that got a hold of it?
Y'all know Julius thinks that land belongs to him. He probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so for all I know, he might be all the way to the state fair by now with our pumpkin. Ain't there something y'all can do about it?
I'm afraid we'll need at least some kind of evidence to go on before we can go barging into a man's home, son. Why don't you see if you can find something a little more solid for us to go on? Then we can see about helping you out. Whoa there, what happened to you?
It ain't polite to comment on appearances like that. Ghost turned me old. I freed the library from a wrathful spirit at great cost to myself. The officers stare at me for a moment, taking in what I've said.
Looks like what happens when my wife takes her makeup off.
Hugby laughs, slapping his knee, announcing to the room that he has told a great joke.
Hugby, come on, be nice. Jet Black has been through a lot. Earl didn't mean anything by it, just injecting a little levity into the room.
Listen up, boys. Enough talk about my mug. We've got a missing person on our hands. Stella hasn't been seen since yesterday, and the front door of her house was left open. The place was a mess.
Oh, so you think you're leading an investigation, do you? Coming in here like you have some kind of authority? Well then, why don't you march on out and dig up some clues if you think you're such a big shot?
Okay, but if she turns up dead, it's on all of you.
Oh, great. And here comes the guilt tripping. She's not going to turn up dead. That girlie disappearing into the woods is practically a weekly occurrence. I shouldn't expect an out-of-towner like yourself to know that, but young Miss Forsyth here should recognize that this sort of thing is far from out of the ordinary. Are you kidding me? Shouldn't the fact that this is the first time I've come in with something like this mean something? She'll turn up. She always does.
Bo, did you manage to find your dad? Bo's stoic expression breaks, and for a moment I could almost see tears forming in his eyes, but he blinks them away. Yeah, I found him.
You're that, Deputy Franklin? Sounds like you've got another report to close.
Lucky me. I gathered what there was to gather. We're giving him a proper burial in the family plot. It's been tough going, trying to dig the hole while the farm is crawling with those hairless things, but it needs to get done. Do you think they'll go back where they came from soon? Mama and me have tried to fight him as best we can, but it seems like there's more every minute. I'm personally doing everything I can to send them packing. I'll do my part to help. I'll kick in as many of those nasty little faces as I can, but I don't know how many I can send scampering off. Seems like there's no end to those critters. Weird question, but are you folks part of a cult, and is that why you aren't doing your jobs? The police officers stare at me, perplexed.
A cult? I don't think we have that sort of thing up here.
We are doing our jobs.
Just look at Franklin back there. He's filing all kinds of paperwork pertaining to what happened up at the mines. You know, I can't say I appreciate your tone. Sounds like you're accusing us of some kind of indecency.
What, do you think we go up into the hills and do seances and rituals and all that sort of thing? Get your head out of the clouds. What's all this about a pumpkin?
Seems Bo here misplaced a considerably large pumpkin.
Have y'all heard a word I said? I didn't misplace Big Betty. She was stolen. And I know who done it, so I'd appreciate it if y'all would give Mr. Tremaine a visit and set things straight.
And I'm telling you, we can't barge into your neighbor's house just because you want us to.
What makes you think Mr. Tremaine stole it?
You're poking a wasp's nest, Jet Black. There's 100 years of history here.
He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one, on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property.
The Galloways and Tremaines have been at this a long time. They can never agree on whose land is whose. This ain't the first time we've heard something like this. We've got our fair share of calls from Julius Tremaine, too.
Why is this pumpkin so valuable? Me and my daddy put a lot of work into that pumpkin. She was near 2,000 pounds, a guaranteed blue ribbon.
Naturally, our first question is how an old man like Julius Tremaine manages to move a pumpkin that side. Makes the whole story just a little difficult to believe.
I don't know how Julius managed it, but I know it must have been him. He ain't even coming to his door to answer for what he done, and at the very least he could give me seeds from what's left of her. Raising her was the last thing Daddy and me did together. How do you even move a 2,000-pound pumpkin?
I don't know how he did it, but he did. You, sure it wasn't a bear?
Weren't no bear. We're hunting, folks. We know the signs. This was a man's work, and that means it was Mr. Tremaine. He knew just what to do to hurt our family. I don't think Bo's asking you to throw Julius in jail or anything. Why can't you look into this? Jet Black is right. I ain't asking for much.
Bo, if I went down that road, I'm sure Julius would come down here tomorrow and have a whole list of his own complaints, and all of them would sound just as justified as yours. Sometimes it's best to just let things work themselves out. But it sounds like Bo has a real case here. It's not just two neighbors having an emotional dispute, property's been stolen. Couldn't you get involved on his behalf just this once, after everything he's been through this week? You say that like this is the first time one of these feuding farm folk have come in about missing vegetables. We've heard it all. And what we've learned is it's best to keep our noses out of it. I'm sure Bo here will be unsatisfied with whatever the legal system feels is just punishment for stealing Big Betty. It doesn't matter what happens. If we do anything, Julius will be storming in here the next day with a complaint of his own. Heck, he'll probably come down here regardless. Yep, and it'll be about a missing butternut squash or what have you that he sure made it into a soup on the Callaway side of the property line. Let's just get going. Well, no one can say we didn't try. Let's keep looking. Taking a bite. Well, that was a total waste of time. I hope Bo finds his pumpkin. Where to next? Let's check out the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella.
It feels like I've walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners, and they're having what seems to be an intense discussion, their expressions gravely serious.
Hey, it's Jet Black and Kanika. Long time no see. Hope the town has been treating you well. Are we interrupting something? Course not. Everyone's welcome here. Just, be careful not to step on any toes. Things have gotten a little tense over the past couple of days.
The miners in the back were too engaged in conversation to notice me enter, and instead of speaking in hushed voices, they argue with each other loudly enough for me to easily overhear.
Sure, the shift schedules are tough, and sure, we don't get enough time off for me to see my family as often as I'd like, but this is the best job I can get right now. Listen, kid, you're only a year or so into this gig. Trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you think you can weather it till you find something better. A paycheck's a paycheck, I get it. But the next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you. They use up every free second it can to suck out... Use up every free second it can suck out of its workers and pays us just enough to survive. But not so much that we can ever save enough to get the hell out.
Zax, we could get
fired for this. I really need the paycheck. My sister needs the paycheck. I'm the only reason she can afford her tuition right now. I can't get fired. And this job still has its perks, like the company housing. I can't afford my own place and send money back home. I don't know where I would live if I didn't have this job. Right, the company housing. How generous of the big boss to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had proper maintenance done in decades. You know she uses that housing as an excuse to pay us less. And the company housing, that means almost nobody in this whole damn town owns the place they live. It's why the Scarlets can keep getting away with whatever they want.
Zax, we don't have the numbers, man. You know this is risky. Riskier than most of us can afford.
We would have the numbers if y'all would stand with me and not let management scare tactics get to you. Hell, there was a collapse less than 2 days ago, and the boss expects us not to riot at the thought of being forced back down there to work while the threat of death looms over our heads. The threats only work if we let them. It doesn't matter whose name is on the deed for the place. Without us, there is no mine. We've got them against the ropes. We can't back down now or they'll come out swinging.
Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners turn towards the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison.
The YouTuber?
We ain't seen her. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble.
I hope she's okay. She hasn't been around, but I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Don't pressure people, Zax. If they don't want to strike, they don't have to.
Jet Black, what the hell? Oh, great. The boss even has her cousin going around strike breaking. Get out of here before we drive you out. You're not welcome here. All of you calm down. If a fight breaks out in my establishment, you're all out. I don't care who's in the right. You heard the lady. Don't get involved or we'll have to take this outside. I just wanted the record to show that just because I am currently standing next to Tabitha's cousin does not mean I am friends with Tabitha's cousin. I barely know this person. Go fuck yourself, Kanika. Somebody snitched to Tabitha. She caught us completely unprepared. For all we know, you overheard something that ratted us out. And with how you've been acting today, I don't know how you did it, but something tells me you're part of the boss's machine.
Kanika's eyes dart to the floor.
Nah, I'm gonna drop it.
I guess we should get going. We turn and leave the diner, Kanika trailing close behind us.
Still no signs of Stella.
Before I can suggest my next move, I start to feel woozy. Spots form at the edges of my vision. My legs suddenly feel unstable, my body sending me clear signals of exhaustion. And then it passes. Still, it probably won't be long before my body needs a chance to rest. I should plan my next move wisely. We should check in on Oscar. He's smart. Maybe he'll know what to do.
I hope nothing else happened after we all went home last night. They're so brave for sleeping in that house after everything we went through. I'd rather sleep in the woods with the ditchlings than someplace that was that haunted.
Morning light streams in through the library's large windows. In the bright daylight, it's once again a place of comfort, all menace having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure.
No ghost, thank God. I was not up for an encore. I guess Oscar must be in the back. I know that's where I'd be if I finally got my house back. Let's go.
We make our way back towards the annex. It feels strange to be back in here in the light of day, as if the events of the previous evening were all just a terrible dream.
This hallway creeps me out.
Kanika knocks on the door. Oh, good morning. It's so good to see all of you. Jet Black. He takes in the sight of me standing in the bright corridor. The way Oscar says my name carries the weight of an immeasurable guilt. I can see it in its eyes, too. What I've done for this man will hang over every interaction the two of us have for the rest of our lives. I hope you're doing well this morning. Please come in. You have no idea how good it felt to sleep in our own house last night. Though I suppose I didn't do too much sleeping. I mostly sat and stared at the hatch all night. Nothing happened, but the idea that something could happen was more than enough to keep me wide awake. So, what brings you here?
Stella's been missing since last night, and we're trying to figure out if anyone's seen her.
She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you? Nope, we have no clue where she's gone. That's not good. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I feel terrible. I should have done a better job warning her.
Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you were going to be able to stop her. There was no way you could have known how she would react when she found it. Now I'm really starting to worry. It sounds like no one in town has seen her.
Sorry that I can't be more helpful, especially after everything y'all have done for us. I know time is of the essence right now, but while you're here, I wanted to let you know that I'm determined to do whatever I can to help investigate what's happening to our town. I was hoping we could compare notes. It might help me narrow down where I should start my research. As far as I'm aware, there was nothing paranormal in Scarlet Hollow before very recently. Now here we are, suddenly surrounded by weird little goblin creatures in the woods and plagued by angry ghosts.
You think there was an inciting event, right?
I do.
That's my thought too. It was never like this in the Hollow before. Something must have happened that kicked off all this magic stuff.
If there's a root cause for all this, hopefully there's a way to put the genie back in its bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have ever been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on.
Well, we'll fill you in on what little we know, so you at least have some place to start. Taking a bite.
We've been finding these weird stone seals. There was one in the mines and another in your basement. There might be more. These are those carvings you mentioned last night, right? To think there was something like that under my house all this time. And to think someone must have put it there. But who? This gives me quite a few threads to follow. Thank you, Jet Black. You know, I was thinking about filling that basement with cement and pretending it was never part of this house. But if we're all here, maybe we should go down and... Oscar's sighs. Take a closer look at that carving, seal, whatever it is.
It's been bad enough going into haunted houses and abandoned coal mines at night, but there's something that feels so much worse about going down there in the middle of the day.
I can't say I'm thrilled at the thought of it either, but we need to do whatever we can to start getting ahead of things.
I really don't think this is a good idea.
Going down there is worth the risk. We've been seeing ditchlings in broad daylight. I don't think we have the luxury of turning down clues. I couldn't agree more. After everything you've done to keep my family safe the past 2 days, I'm not going to risk losing our home because I was too scared of an old stone carving.
Oscar, I feel like this is a bad idea.
You don't have to go down there with us. You can wait upstairs.
Little bitch.
Oscar leads us back down the familiar hallway to Rosalina's room.
Oh, hey Dad. What are y'all doing in here?
I'm going back into the basement, Rosa. I'm afraid there's something down there that might help us figure out what's going on in town. It's probably best you go to the library while we...
No way. If you're going down there, I'm going too. Remember what you said last night? No more secrets. We're in this together.
You're right, Rosa. You can come with us. No more secrets.
Am I the only person in this town who doesn't have a death wish?
Just give me a moment to move all of this out of the way. Oscar gets to work moving the furniture from the trapdoor, his broad shoulders making quick work of it. Before me and my companions know it, we find ourselves transfixed to the trapdoor.
I don't want to go back down there. It's okay, Alexis. You don't have to come with us. We can stay up here together while everyone else goes down there.
Oscar opens the hatch with a menacing creak. Everybody's heart skips a beat. But none of us are swept up into a ghost nightmare puppet show. The sun continues to shine. The birds continue to sing outside Rosalina's window. See? Nothing to be worried about. The slight tremor in his voice tells me he's mostly saying that to himself. Shall we?
If you're sure you want to do this, I won't stop you. But I do not like the vibes I'm getting from that pit.
I'm going. We descend to the basement stairs and find ourselves in the same cold, unfinished place we were in last night. I can't shake an oppressive feeling, but whether that feeling is driven more by the trauma of the past night or by something more tangible, I'm unsure. Well, I guess whatever we're looking for is in that pit. I guess we should take a look. Oscar walks up to the burial site, eyes widening as he peers inside. The eternally screaming remains of Charles Shaw Jr. are exactly where I left them last night, staring back up at me from empty sockets. The carving lies beneath him, the heavy cold stone acting as his coffin. Its style is more than just similar to the carving in the mines. Both stones were carved by the same artist. Gross. He rotted all over that rock. I have no interest in going any closer. This carving has trouble written all over it, and who knows what kind of diseases. Charlie. Whoa, cool. Don't touch it. I'll have to call Dr. Kelly about this. We should put his body to rest, right? That's how these things usually go.
He hasn't popped up out of the grave or decided to make any of us into puppets, so maybe he's really gone for good.
I think so. That's gonna make it a lot easier to sleep tonight.
Does that mean you'll let me sleep in my actual bed?
Whoa, let's give it one more night. I still don't know how I feel about you sleeping on top of that rock. So, what do we think? Wolves encircling a goat. It's a start. What was on the carving in the mines? A circle of arms bound up in chains. Interesting. I'm sure that description will be more than enough to get started.
Can Alexis and I help? I want to know why someone put this creepy stuff under my room.
Sure, you can help. Well, I've seen enough. Time to go. Yes, let's go back upstairs. Now that we know it's safe down here, I'll come back on my own time to do a more thorough examination. The others and I make our way back up to Rosalina's room. As soon as we're all in one place, Oscar closes the trapdoor and moves the pile of furniture back into place.
So, did y'all get possessed or cursed or anything? No, but we got to see a dead body. Hey Alexis, you want to see a picture of it? Ew, okay.
I'm not sure that's appropriate. Alexis's parents might not approve of you showing their daughter pictures of dead people.
They let her watch all kinds of scary movies, Dad. It's fine. And maybe she can help us with the investigation too. Yeah, it's totally okay, Mr. Gutierrez. I don't want to see it in person, but I do want to see it.
Before Oscar has a chance to get in another word, Rosalina's already pulled up the picture on her phone.
Whoa, I can't believe you're gonna sleep in here. You're so brave.
Oscar sighs. I'll be back to check in on you two in a minute. I've just got a couple of things to finish up with these folks. Kanika and I follow Oscar back to the living room. So, I have more than enough to get started on my research now, but is there anything else I should know about? I think there's something in the clinic. There was this door yesterday, and I could feel something pulling me towards it.
You didn't mention anything like that yesterday.
I see. I'll dig up what I can on the clinic. There's a lot of history there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something haunting that place as well.
Oh God, you don't think that's why Reese is sick, do you?
He's been sick for years, hasn't he? If there's something supernatural causing his illness, it puts a bit of a wrench in our recency theory.
Thank you for charging the Lumibot, NG. It does, but maybe there's more to it than that. Maybe things being clustered so tightly together is just a coincidence. Maybe Scarlet Hollow's been weird for a long time, and we're all just starting to notice. It took me back-to-back encounters with the paranormal on consecutive nights to even consider that we might be dealing with something supernatural.
Reese mentioned a movie night, right? It's the perfect cover for an investigation.
Who knows if that would fly with Dr. Kelly, though? After last night, I'm pretty sure she's not going to let any of us near her house. If we're going to investigate the clinic, I think we're going to have to break in.
No, absolutely not.
It's what Stella would do, and she's been 3 for 3 this week when it comes to finding spooky stuff.
She's also been 3 for 3 when it comes to finding her way into mortal peril.
This is why we have to find her as soon as possible. It shouldn't fall on me to suggest we do something dangerous. I'm terrible at selling it.
It's not that I don't think we should figure out what's going on in there. We just need to be cautious about what we do next. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it is to help a friend. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or two to do some research before you do anything rash, okay?
Taking a bite. What the hell, NJ?
Whatever we do next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find that person that really likes cryptozoology, and fast.
I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing. Let us know what you find.
I will.
So that's Oscar. Any other ideas?
As I consider my next move, my vision blurs again, but this time it persists. The weakness in my knees returns, my ears fill with static, and I can feel myself swaying, unable to control my body. It seems the toll of the pact I made last night is finally catching up with me.
Hey, Jet Black, are you okay?
My body crumples to the ground.
Oh shit. The general store is just around the corner. Let's get you inside.
The bells of the general store chime welcomingly as Kanika drags me across the threshold. I can faintly make out the unintelligible mumbling of what must have been voices, and then I fade out once again. I come to in a chair in the tea room. Sybil sits across from me, a gentle smile of relief washing over her face as I regain consciousness. It's dark here, the sunlight filtering through the heavy curtains, weak and watery, partially supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plant in the corner.
Welcome back. It looks like it's just you and me for now. Kanika is getting some much overdue bed rest upstairs. I went ahead and made you some tea, dear. It should help a bit with your condition.
My eyes drift down to the cup of freshly brewed tea in front of me. It smells light and citrusy with undertones of decaying earth. It's the same tea she brought me on Tuesday.
Don't expect it to change your gray hairs back, but at the very least it should make it easier for your mind and spirit to adjust to some of the physical changes you've gone through. Hopefully you'll be a little less exhausted, and a little less prone to passing out. And when you're finished, we can use the leaves for reading. On the house, of course. Until then, why don't we just chat?
What's with all this mystery and ritual? If you have something to tell me, just come out and say it.
I need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea leaves should help to give me the full picture.
Drink the tea. I take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like I've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and I find myself feeling more comfortable, my muscles relaxing for the first time in days. The tea is gone before I know it. The small cup empties save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Sybil wasn't lying when she said that it would help my condition. I still feel aged and worn, but I'm a little less tired and a little mentally sharper than I was a few minutes ago.
Oh, good. I'm glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business.
Sybil takes the cup from me, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge.
Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may, at the very least, be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here. A cat. An enemy lurking in plain sight. I've got to eat. I'm eating.
The cat could be Pastor Daniel.
There's something wrong with that poor young man, isn't there? I don't think there's actually a bad bone in his body. There's just something perennially off-putting about him. His whole situation's rather unfortunate. The cat requires a level of closeness that I don't think the good pastor is really capable of. Not to be rude or a gossip, but I don't think he has a single friend in town other than his wife and daughter. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out, piece together what you can from your visions, and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another?
My thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw me in, urging me deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling me to return and open it to see what's on the other side. I can find Stella later. Maybe I can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. You didn't get all this from tea leaves. Of course she didn't. She's smart. She knows how to deduce things from the leaves.
Of course not. Tea leaves are merely a guide. Sometimes they can help confirm suspicions or fill in where my intuition falls short. My family has lived in these hills a long time, as has yours. I know the Scarlets have secrets. I know Vivian was scared for you, but your place in all this is something we have to figure out together. And that's where little tricks like tea leaves come in handy. But we shouldn't digress. Do you know where you might find the next stone?
I think I felt another in the clinic.
That's good. If you can find your way inside and uncover another stone, that could give you a leg up on your adversary. You'll just have to be careful to avoid the doctor. Something tells me she won't take too kindly to you sniffing around her clinic. If I recall correctly, there's a hill that'll take you nearly all the way up to the second story, and she never locks any of the doors up there. Just in case that's helpful information. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers.
You helped last night. Why don't you come with me?
I may have been able to see through that spirit's illusions, but I'm not some kind of all-powerful entity. I'm an old woman. I have trouble with my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'd be more of a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I'd been in those mines with you. Some use I'd be, struggling to climb over rocks and ladders, throwing my back out from all the crouching.
Yeah, thanks. I'll let you know if I find anything.
Glad to hear it. I hope all goes well, and I wish you luck. Hopefully you won't need it. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. Taking a bite.
With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table, and I'm escorted back to the door.
And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough.
Sybil closes the door to the tea room, the bells of its door strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. I'm not going anywhere before checking in on Kanika. I make my way upstairs. I knock on Kanika's door.
Mom, I really don't need more tea. I think I'm just gonna lie down for a while.
I'm going to the clinic. I was hoping you would join me.
Oh, hey. Sorry, Jet Black. My mom was right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push it, or I'll wind up worse off tomorrow.
It looks like I'm on my own. I make my way out of the general store and down the road to the clinic. I make my way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. It isn't long before I find myself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic, its secrets enticing me to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, I can already feel the presence. It's like a magnet has been fixed to my ribcage, gently tugging me forward, guiding me towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. I can see the hill Sybil was talking about, wrapped around the back of the old hospital like a stone blanket. It should take me directly up to the second floor and the unlocked doors of the terrace. As soon as I finish my thought about jumping onto a terrace, a dull throb sets into my knees. There's no way I'm doing that. It's a doctor's office, not Fort Knox. Why would the clinic door even be locked? I carefully make my way up the old wooden stairs to the clinic's wraparound porch, avoiding any suspiciously creaky-looking steps. I push the door slowly, just enough for me to slip in, but not enough to risk any sound from the door's ancient hinges. I can see the doc at the desk in some room down the hall. She hasn't noticed me. I shut the door silently, watching her closely. I'm in the clinic, free to explore as I please. Or rather, I'm free to explore as I please. I can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted me to find it. I've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding me around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar, as if inviting me to enter. The lights click on. I'm in the morgue.
Jet Black?
He squints, seemingly unsure whether I'm the same person he met yesterday.
What are you doing in the morgue?
Vampire! Am I interrupting something?
No, I was just practicing, I guess. Sometimes I just come down here to rehearse. Jesus. Nani? Leo Caterpillar, it has been a minute, my friend. Good to see you. Sometimes I just come down here to rehearse.
Rehearse, you say?
Good one.
His words seem distant to me. The tugging is strong down here. I can almost feel myself slipping into a trance, and my eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. I need to see what's back there. I touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under my palms.
Hey, are you okay?
I feel Reese's hand gently shake my shoulder, and for a moment, the thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its pull on me.
You kind of looked possessed for a second there. You good?
Make him understand. Why wall? Need see thing, but wall stand in way? Reese glances back at the wall.
Are you trying to get at something behind the wall? It kind of has a bad vibe, doesn't it? Huh. This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the doc out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds.
Get the doc out of our hair?
Yeah, if I say I'm sick and need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire way to get her out of the house. And most of the time, it's true anyway.
Use what you got to get what you need. No shame in that.
Exactly.
Yes, please. Axe now.
Wow, you are super desperate about this wall. Be right back.
He strides past me, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. I hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother.
Hey, Mom.
He coughs gently.
Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try and keep some juice down. It looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I'd just pick some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice. And some ginger ale, too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy.
I hear footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing.
It worked!
The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place.
Come on up. We don't have long until she's back.
As I step out of the morgue, I relax. The extra space between me and the carving has weakened its hold on me, and with it, my desperation to claw my way through the wall and unveil it.
It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doc's office first.
We make our way to the doorway of her now vacant office.
I don't see an axe in here.
He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. But something on the desk catches my eye. Some sort of records, with my family's name on them. I scoop up the folder, tucking the documents in for later perusal. Reese watches me with curiosity.
Stealing medical documents?
If my family's gonna keep secrets from me, I'd better learn what I can.
Totally. Steal anything you need to. You've got a mystery to solve. I'm not going to stand in your way. Let's check the medical supply room next. I can imagine a room full of chemicals being a place someone might want to keep an axe. Better be careful stealing stuff in there, though. That might really get you in trouble.
We turn around and leave the office. It's time to move on.
Come on, let's keep looking. There it is. Looks like it needs a key, though. We'd better not break the glass. I'd rather explain why I had to steal the axe after we've had a chance to use it. There must be a key in here somewhere.
Reese stops to listen to something. You can hear it too, but ever so faintly. The sound of footsteps just outside the clinic.
Shit, she's back already.
I hear the front door of the clinic open and close, the creak of its antique hinges echoing down the hallway. Footsteps start down the hall.
She's headed this way. Quick, we gotta hide. I'm not supposed to be in here.
He opens the door, the closet door, and hurriedly motions me inside. I slip past him, scrunching into the small space as best I can. He attempts to slide in after me. I make space, and he slips in next to me, closing the door just enough that we can both still monitor the entrance to the supply room. Dr. Kelly storms in, plastic bag in tow. She takes something out of the bag and places it on the counter. And then she hurries back out, bag rustling as she makes her way back down the hallway.
We'd better wait a second, just in case.
The two of us stand in tense silence, both crammed into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths as if she could hear us breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards our hiding place, creaking floorboards broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside our hiding spot. His head swivels suddenly.
That was the door to the house. We're in the clear. Let's go.
The two of us spill out of the closet. Reese quickly and quietly starts pulling out drawers, scanning them for keys. The strange sprig of fuzzy fruits draws our eye. We step forward and draws my eye. I step forward and take a closer look. It looks out of place on the sterile steel countertop, its broad, 8-pronged leaf already wilting in the unnatural lighting. My thoughts are interrupted by the jingling of keys.
Sweet. Found them. And they're color-coded. Too easy.
Reese unlocks the cabinet and offers me the fire axe.
Here's your axe.
He hands me the axe, then pauses, realizing I've been poring over the weird little plant.
That was what she took out of the bag, right? That's weird. Does she make her own medicine? She's not a pharmacist. I don't think she's supposed to do that. This is just supposed to be where she stores medicine she orders from a pharmacist over in Brevard.
He picks up the plant.
Weird little alien fruit. It's gotta be medicinal, right?
Maybe she keeps a recipe somewhere.
And we have her keys. Let's see what some of these locked drawers have to hide.
He starts unlocking drawers.
Medical supplies, name brand meds.
He pauses at the next drawer.
Mysterious unlabeled notebook. This is about me. There's stuff in here from when I was like 12. It's some kind of diary or medical history or both, I guess. What the hell is this? Something about another episode? Guessing she's referring to one of my rough nights. Oh, here we go. There's some illustrations.
He glances to the strange plant on the countertop.
It's that. She uses that to make my medicine. Extract by boiling berries. Great, she doesn't say what the berries are or what she's extracting. Stella is missing.
Leaving out the names? Real suspicious. Sounds like something someone would do if they didn't want much of a paper trail.
But why would...
Reese and I jerk our heads to the sound of an opening door. The doctor is in.
Shit, that was the door from the house. We've got to run.
I follow Reese's instruction, once again starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide me back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above.
I was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge, but there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go rest. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so if you hear some weird noise sounds, that's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging you listen to. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. You at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner.
I hear the door close and the sound of Reese descending the stairs to join me in the fluorescent lit room.
Hey.
May I make the first blow?
Go for it.
I approach the far end of the morgue, axe practically singing through the air as I strike the wall. The first cut offers a surprising amount of resistance. There is some structure behind it, some wood frame holding it in place, trying to stand between me and what waits for me on the other side. I stagger back from the massive hole in the wall and admire my effort.
May I make the first blow as a crazy request? Holy shit.
The splintered edge frames a dark passage, seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from a forgotten place in the already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall.
There's a whole hallway back there.
Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthy mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. And with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. I step forward and climb into the hole.
This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing, rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall.
His voice sounds distant. My sole focus is finding it. My feet move without prompting, and I stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as I stagger past it.
Whoa, are you okay?
I don't respond, and don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years. The planks nearly reduced to sawdust. I tear into it.
Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I going to do?
Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research, and I've found us an alternative. We won't have to worry about anything from here on out. I promise. I went to talk to the witch.
A witch? But that's nonsense.
It's all right. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today, and everything will be resolved by this time next week. Everything goes black, and I die. My vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient myself. I'm in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing me with concern and curiosity.
Hey, I was worried you slipped into a coma or something. You tore down the wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving, and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay?
Does Dr. Kelly know I'm here?
No, I snuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. Figured you wouldn't want to come to in the morgue.
How did I get here?
I carried you.
But you have a delicate constitution.
What? It wasn't super far or anything. I just picked you up and carried you. I might be sick a lot, but that doesn't mean I'm made of paper. I can still do things normal people can do. I'm sure I'll pay for it later.
I had a vision.
Like a hallucination? I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just weird little things, like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller.
I still have those documents I swiped, right?
Yeah, you should still have them on you.
Sure enough, I pull out the file containing medical documents about my family. Cause of death, sleep apnea. Discovered by her daughter, Tabitha Chrysanthemum Scarlet. No autopsy performed. Born April 9, 1913, died February 12, 2003. Aged 89. Cause of death, heart failure. Signed by her granddaughter, Pearl Scarlet. Pretty normal. Almost made it to 90. Died of a normal old person illness. Enoch Scarlet. Born September 9, 1887. Died August 20th, 1957. Age 69. Nice. Cause of death, fall from cliff. This one has a coroner's report attached. Organs sustained impact energies. Lacerations to the neck and body consistent with fall from great height. I quickly flipped through a few other of the Scarlets whose names aren't quite as familiar. Theodore Scarlet, born May 24, 1890, died 1918, age 28. Cause of death, Prussian mine collapse, body not recovered. Signed by his brother, Enoch Scarlet. Joseph Scarlet, born April 1914, died June 7, 1944. Louis Scarlet, born August 20th, died June 6, 1944. Both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. These must have been Edwardine's brothers. Certificate of fetal death, infant boy, Andrew Charles Scarlet. Delivered April 3, 1945, stillbirth. Mother, Edwardine Scarlet. Cause of death, complications during birth. No doctor present. Home burial. There was no doctor present at the birth and a home burial. There's some information missing there. Alexandra Scarlet, born December 12, 1947. Died August 20th, 1957. Age 9. Missing, presumed dead. Signed by mother, Edwardine Scarlet. Alexandra, the owner of the doll, so she went missing. Mary Bell Scarlet, born September 3rd, 1946, died October 30th, 1963, age 17. Cause of death, complications during childbirth. Signed by her mother, Edwardine Scarlet. I think these are visions of things that actually happened.
Whoa, I wonder if you'd see anything else if you went back in there. Or if there are more around town. Maybe if you collect them all, you'll finally unravel whatever the big mystery is. Seems fun.
I think Dr. Kelly should look me over. These seizures can't be good for me.
I don't think you'll want her to do that. While you were out, I did some reading. She's not the kind of doctor you want in charge of your healthcare. I should know. I'm the one she's been poisoning for years. I refuse to take my medicine, so she's on a warpath up there. I have no idea what she's doing, but I blocked my door, so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out.
You locked your door?
Of course I did. Put a chair in front of it. It's never failed me before. We don't need her coming down here to finish me off, or whatever it is she might do now that I know what her treatment plan has been all these years.
Good. Gives us time to figure out a game plan.
Exactly. I think we should treat her like a legitimate threat. I have these weird memories. I always assumed they were dreams or hallucinations because they didn't fit the way I thought of her, but I think she's used tranquilizers on me. Other times that I've gotten too unruly for her. I don't know how much of those memories I can trust, but I'm starting to think I should believe my instincts when it comes to the length she's willing to go to keep me under her control. We'll wait until she's asleep, then we can at least get out of the basement and we can figure out what to do from there.
But why would your mom poison you?
I don't know. But it's all in here. She never outright says that's what she's doing. And the recipe she came up with to deal with my flare-ups, whatever she thinks those are, involves that weird plant that was on the counter. I managed to look up the plant she's been using to make my medicine, and the internet says it's castor bean. It's used to make ricin, a super deadly poison that causes some of my exact symptoms. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly, or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. Either way, I don't think I ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that.
Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead?
I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed a tolerance. But I think the fact I feel more and more alive by the minute is proof enough that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence.
No matter what, we should get out of this basement soon.
Where would we go? The only person I know has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here.
One step at a time. Let's just start by waiting at your mom and get out of here.
You shouldn't call her my mom. As far as I'm concerned, she's forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. She's just some woman now. Can't wait for her to be in the rearview mirror of the rest of my life. We'll see if we can wait her out. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something else out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which she always said was for burglars. Now, I assume it was yet another way to keep me boxed in. But we can try and break them anyway. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest.
I believe you owe me a showing of Shino-Chi Deathblood.
I believe I do. Jet does like his movie nights.
Reese gets the movie set up and joins me on the bed.
Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people react to this sort of thing I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable.
This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time, what with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and of course the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs has been poisoning her son since his teens.
I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out, like watch movies with another person, or talk to people, ever.
I just realized it's been echoey that whole time. That's hilarious. I can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. I'm glad you'll be able to have a social life, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Reese smiles to himself.
It's still hard to imagine, hard to believe after all these years alone, that that's going to be my reality.
A man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up.
I love that there are all these distinct sort of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. And then it sees you back. Incredible. Cosmic horror in the truest sense.
Reese is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now, what with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. Talking during movies is fine. Let him, he's just excited.
Sorry if I'm talking a lot, I'm just jittery. It's a little terrifying to think that she's up there right now.
There's a knock on the window.
Jet Black, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice. I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around?
Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window.
Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe.
Why did he call you that thing?
Because he's some kind of monster, and he wants me dead. Can't you feel that? The murderous intent is practically oozing out of him. But I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. I can protect both of us, Jet Black.
The window shatters. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvas. His ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading mine, crawling up the walls.
Grab my hand. I'll pull you out.
Leave us alone. In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off, and Wayne along with it.
Heyo, been listening while unpacking shopping. This guy feels like a secret monster, man. You hit the nail on the fucking head, Scally. We aren't safe, but I feel strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here. I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the doc.
Reese storms up the stairs, leaving me with his creations.
Hmm. Trying not to use meta knowledge. I think Jet would probably call Tabitha, because she said to call her next time he got into trouble. This is definitely one of those times.
I dial my cousin's number.
Hey, where are you?
Reese is gonna kill his mom. He's also a werewolf or a vampire or something.
A what? I always knew there was something that smelled off about that kid. Stay put. I'm on my way. Don't get eaten.
My cousin hangs up the phone. I make my way to the door that beckoned to me yesterday, all intrigue now washed away. I know where it leads, and I know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with me. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there is a monster preparing to do something unthinkable. I grasp the handle and turn. Dr. Kelly emerges from the shadows and levels a firearm in my direction. I instantly notice it's not a proper rifle, but some kind of tranquilizer gun.
Duck!
Oof. Combat roll. I do as she says, ducking out of the way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air. I turn to see a dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart from between his ribs, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system.
You're going to have to try harder than that, you No. How did you? As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh.
Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between the cracks in the wood. Reese is panicked, pulling in a mob of furious creatures to hold his enemy in place. The artist darts away, but his creations continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway as Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. I run forward, braving the onslaught of Reese's creations, dodging them as best I can to try and see where Dr. Kelly went. The door in front of me is smothered in paint.
Hey!
Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker.
You, Jet Black. I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us.
What the hell is your son, ma'am?
I wish I knew. He was fine until he hit puberty. Everyone said raising a teen was going to be a bitch, but they don't know the half of it. I need you to get to the medical storage room. I'll give you further instructions when you're there.
I turn back around and head to the medical storage room. I'm here!
Great. Now listen to me. I need you to use the black taped key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled sarfentanil. Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Jet Black, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not gonna hurt anybody else. Just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now, better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she finally has to pay for what she's taken from me. Enjoy your human food. Food.
I'm not going to let you kill someone, Reese.
Why not? She wasn't afraid I might die. Does she know those tranquilizers aren't going to kill me? Does she care? Trust me, Reese. I've always been careful with your medication. I want you to live. I love you. Tell yourself whatever lies you have to, Mom. If you wanted a good relationship, you had your chance, and you decided to convince me I was dying instead of just letting me exist. Don't try to spin it like some kind of crime of passion now that the consequences are staring you in the face. Enough.
Reese cries out in pain.
Ah! What the hell did you do to my shoulder?
I see, for the briefest instant, something coming out of Wayne's sleeve. Just a flash of pale yellow, and it's gone, slithering back into Wayne's clothes.
I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then.
The two stagger off down the hallway.
Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room.
I do as she says. The tranquilizers are easy to find, marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. She's certainly an organized woman, and I've got to admire that. You make your way out of the I make my way out of the medical storage room and back to the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As I approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the massive pane sealing it shut.
Hurry! I don't think I can keep it open for long.
I slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor.
It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here.
What is this room?
Old x-ray room. Lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote-controlled locks. Glad it finally came in handy.
Let's talk Reese.
Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide.
When did you find out?
A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. Had him checked out at a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument, and he changed, right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now, just a couple of inches and some facial abnormities, enough to be noticeable. I was scared. He could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, or maybe a hallucination, but the second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away easy. That's when I knew for sure that this was something beyond my realm of expertise.
How did he not know what he was?
I've been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him.
How did you settle on Ryson? Dr. Kelly gives me a long, hard look.
I don't want to talk about that woman. But screw it. I might die tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. It was... And that's all I have to say about it.
Was his dad similar? A strange little smile creeps onto Dr. Kelly's face.
I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. I kept having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet. They were just dreams. But then all of a sudden, my period stopped. I got morning sickness, and roughly 9 months later, Reese.
What is he?
At first, I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him, or how his body does that. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery.
The relationship between you seems so difficult.
Yeah, you could say that. He was such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready. But he made me love being a mom. It's not like it was going to be sunshine and roses forever. No matter what, kids grow up and they change. Sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mom too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't going to go around eating people.
How do you know he's dangerous?
Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number 1. It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. But every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine if this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine if he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. Don't you think it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy? Oh, don't preach to me. He is a sweet kid. Is he a sweet kid most of the time? Absolutely. And Ted Bundy was sweet to the people he picked up off the side of the road. Didn't mean he didn't go ahead and slaughter them anyway. I know what my son is capable of, so it's my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. Why did you start poisoning him? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison. But the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. It was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I'd been giving him increasingly high doses of Klonopin, but his body kept adapting and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it, and I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? You have it all. You have no idea how relieved I am to finally say all this shit out loud. Well, what's the game plan, both short and long term? Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here, then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. And we all live happily ever after. I see no flaws with this plan. Has that worked before? He's never known the exact nature of his condition before. Maybe it was a mistake to hide it from him. But I thought it meant he could feel like he had more freedom, not knowing that if he just stopped taking his pills, he could become big and pointy enough to kill me. I'm going to have to revoke some of those freedoms now. He's not going to like that, but I think he'll understand, even if it takes time. I don't think he wants to hurt people. He just can't help what he is. Dr. Kelly and I sit in silence and wait for his son to make his way to us. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Get those tranks ready. We have to get this door open before he crosses the hallway. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of us stare out into the hallway. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. Before Dr. Kelly can fire, a different shot rings out. Reese's body is thrown to the wall. Shotgun in hand, my cousin rounds the corner and trains her weapon on his writhing body. Tabitha, what are you doing here? Stop it. Let me sedate him. We can deal with this non-lethally. Are you insane? That thing was trying to kill you. I leap forward, placing my body between Tabitha and the whimpering Reese, his face already trying to stitch itself back together as he writhes on the ground. Jet Black, what the hell do you think you're doing? Don't kill him. He's still a person. Person my ass. Did you see his face? Both of you shut up and help me drag him into the safe room, now! I turn to see Dr. Kelly already pulling her son towards the open doorway. Tabitha swings the gun onto her back, huffily jumping in to help Dr. Kelly. It's not long before his regenerating body is sealed away behind the door. Not exactly how I thought that would play out, but at least none of us are dead. If you've done any permanent damage to him, you're going to be one paying for medical supplies, Miss Scarlet. You aren't seriously going to keep that thing alive, are you? It's clearly dangerous. What makes you think you can keep it locked up? It is my son, Miss Scarlet, and despite appearances, he is still human. I prefer you refer to him as such. And I've managed to keep him safely locked away and harmless for years. Sure, it'll be a little more difficult now that he knows about his condition, But that room is lined with lead. He's not going anywhere. He's human? Are you sure about that? Are we talking about the same guy? Trust me, I've done genetic tests. He is human, somehow, and it's my job as his mother to protect him, and to protect people from him. It's not a burden I take lightly. You don't have to worry about him getting out anytime soon.
He's not some monster. He deserves to live, Tabitha.
Again, are we talking about the same guy? The one with all those teeth? About 12 feet tall? I'll figure something out. Neither of you needs to be involved in this, so please, just leave. I have a lot of cleaning to do.
My cousin and I leave the clinic, Dr. Kelly slamming the shotgun-blasted door behind us. The two of us make our way to the bottom of the hill, where Tabitha's car is parked among the sleepy houses of Scarlet Hollow's residential street. She places her gun in the trunk and turns to face me.
You're alone right now. Is Stella still missing? I tried calling her a couple of times, but I kept getting her stupid voicemail.
Yeah. The two of us are interrupted by the jingling of dog tags. Gretchen appears at the edge of the road, running as fast as her geriatric pug legs can carry her. Gretchen seems distressed. She whines as she stares up at you from the ground, eyes desperate, anxiously jumping back and forth and darting away when you try to lean down to her.
Gretchen? But where's Stella?
It looks like we're about to find out. Tabitha and I follow Gretchen into the woods.
God, I hope she's not leading us to a body.
Gretchen nervously runs ahead of you and Tabitha and I, looking back to make sure we're still there as she leads us into the dark woods. Before long, the trees thin, and we find ourselves on a steep hill by a two-lane road, lined on one side by sheer rock. There, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. I watch her from the underbrush.
She's alive. Thank God.
She sounds more exasperated than relieved. Though I know by now that it's just her trying to cover up genuine emotion, she's deeply relieved and terrified to show such vulnerability. You should go talk to her, Tabitha. She'd probably be glad to see you.
I don't know. We've got baggage. I'll just make things worse. No, you're right. She's been practically begging for us to be closer than we are. It's time I stopped letting my dead mother dictate who I'm allowed to talk to. But I'm not talking to her alone. We're doing this together. Yo, I didn't know she could just yoink me like that.
The two of us join Stella, perching on the old log on either side of her.
God, Jet Black, that ghost really did a number on you. I'm so sorry. You had Jet Black worried all day, you know. And it looks like you got into some trouble too. Jet Black, you're all covered in blood. I think a lot of it is paint, actually. Wait. Ah. I guess that grammatically worked. This is where your parents died, right? Gotta finish my bowl. Gotta have cereal. Ugh. Graphic imagery. Graphic imagery warning. Have you been sitting here all day? Yeah. Just waiting.
Silence falls over the three of us. The wind rustling in the leaves and the sound of night insects carry on around us, muted in still night.
Nothing happened, though. That's probably for the best. Tabby, did I do something wrong after the accident? What? There's whole years of my life that feel like they just never happened. Like every time I try and remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel that I don't even remember filming. It's scary. Did I do something to push you away? No. All you wanted to do was talk to me, but Pearl-Ann wouldn't let you near me. Oh.
Fuck Pearl-Ann now. Tabitha, stop hiding behind your mom's corpse. She's gone. The only person who makes decisions about your life now is you. Hey.
God, you're right. I was an adult when your parents died, Stella. It doesn't matter what Pearl-Ann wanted. I pushed you away, and I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. Tabby, I've missed you. I've missed you too.
The three of us stare out into the quiet night.
I think the accident is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I think I just wanted to see them again. I wanted to know whether I even could. I never found anything, so I eventually gave up. Then last night happened. And I ran out here to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the car crash again, or seeing them all messed up and dead. I just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. I don't think they're coming. Do you want to say goodbye?
Stella sits in silence for a long moment, her breath slow and even.
Goodbye. I love you. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine.
She's silent again, as if waiting for a response. No response comes. But she smiles, a lively glimmer returning to her sad eyes.
That kind of felt better. I don't think I realized how much I kind of trapped myself in my own head. Thank you for breaking me out of it, you two.
Stella straightens up, stretching her back. Gretchen wags her tail, tags jingling in the quiet night air.
We should probably head back, right? I haven't slept in a day.
Nah, we should tell her. Wait, before we go, we should tell you about what happened today.
Oh? Are you sure about that, Jet Black? It's too late. The cat's out of the bag, and now the two of you have to tell me about your misadventures.
Tabitha and I relay the events of the evening as best we can. Saying it out loud somehow makes it feel less real, like I'm sharing the plot of a horror movie, not something that actually happened to me.
Oh my God. That poor guy. And poor Dr. Kelly. This just sucks for everyone. And Tabby, you just brought a shotgun there? I wanted protection. Hopefully Reese and his mom can work things out. We should try and visit him tomorrow. You two can do that without me. You know, I think processing just the one traumatic event is enough for the day. This new one's going right into the void. At least until we get to the end of the week.
The three of us and Gretchen make our way back through the woods before arriving at Stella's house.
This is me. Thanks again, you two. It's time for us to get back to the estate, Jet Black. Tabby, wait, before you go.
Stella wraps my cousin in a tight hug.
Don't be a stranger, okay? Never again. I promise.
Tabitha and I quietly return to the estate, both of us impossibly exhausted by the day's events.
I've got to crash. I'll see you tomorrow.
She heads to bed without another word. Exhausted beyond belief, I stumble into my room and collapse onto the bed. As my eyes sink, I realize that something smells off about the room. It smells rotten. I jolt awake as the door creaks.
Don't look so frightened. I was just going to say goodnight and to give you a word of advice. Tabitha won't be around tomorrow. Too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you. And you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well.
Wait! Wayne pauses at the door.
Yes?
Did you know Reese was like that?
I knew he was different. How exactly, I wasn't sure. But now I know.
Why are you following me around? Why not Stella or Kanika or Sybil? Why not Tabitha?
Because you're special.
I thought you wanted me to stay at the estate. Aren't you going to lecture me?
You are free to make your own decisions, and those decisions have been made. I know that something pulls at you, and now that it's started, I know that you cannot stop it until your task is finished. I'll keep you safe while you do what you must.
But why? Why am I so special?
You simply are. Do you not feel the ties that bind us? They are unbreakable.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. I was worried Reese might have.
He managed to catch me off guard. Those constructs of his were an interesting little trick, but that's all they were. Good night, Jet Black.
Wayne leaves my room and closes the door behind him. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind me, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. I close my eyes, my exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As I drift off, I think of Reese, trapped in that tiny, windowless room, all his greatest fears realized, his body no longer his own. But I stopped him from killing Dr. Kelly. The world, at least for now, is protected from him. And then I think of nothing.
Yay! Save. So, Stella, real quick. Yep, I saved it. Real quick. Am I unable to romance Dr. Kelly? Should I have gone to the clinic when I was going around? Did I need to go to the clinic to get the romance option for her? Because I might reap